Every object assumes a state of rest until a relevant force is applied. Now, if you are broke, you are suffering from financial inertia. In a simple term, an asset is simply something that puts money into your pocket, according to the way this book explains it. And liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Now, the people that are rich today are rich because they have created income producing assets. If you are dropped from your job today, how long are you able to live before you exhaust your savings? That is how rich you are. Wealth is measured in time than it is measured in amount. The question is this: if you make $1 million, are you rich? It all depends. It depends on what? It depends on how long it takes you to make $1 million. For example, a person earning $25,000 annually, it will take such a person over 40 years to make $1 million. Is such a person rich? Answer is no. But how about a person who is able to make $1 million in 12 calendar months, which is 1 year? Is the person rich? Yes, the person is super rich, because wealth is rather measured in time than it is measured in amount. As a matter of fact, the person who is able to make $1 million in 1 year is 40 times richer than the person who made $1 million in 40 years. Now, don't forget, the $1 million in 40 years is excluding all the expenses of the major necessities. Now, if the person who made $1 million in 40 years is a high saver, let's assume saving 10% on a monthly basis, it will still take such a person over 460 years to save up to $1 million. The rich measure wealth in time and not in the amount. One of the major reasons why people are stuck financially is because they are not open to financial information. They are not open to financial updated information. And one of the literature that will help you understand how to create wealth fast is this book, The Rich Dad Poor Dad. This book was published in 1997 and has sold over 40 million copies. The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is a personal finance classic that challenge the conventional belief about money and offer valuable insight into wealth building and financial independence. Now, through the contrasting lessons learned from his Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki shared some practical advice on financial education, on investing, on entrepreneurship, and mindset shift that will empower readers to take hold of their financial future. The book is so interesting that if you understand it, it's going to empower you on how to build wealth over time. Now, this book practically revolves about two of his fathers, the college professor who is his biological father, and his friend's father. His friend is Mike, and his father is the rich father. And he noticed something from his biological father, who is the college professor, that every time he receives paycheck, the only thing he does is to pay bill, settle some debt, and he's broke again until the next paycheck comes. But his rich dad, who is Mike's father, is living in wealth and affluence. Then he was moved to go to meet the rich dad, asking him to teach him the concept of wealth creation. Now, going into that process, the rich dad employed Kiyosaki and Mike, who is his son, to work for him. Now, in the process of them working for him, the rich dad did not pay them a dime. When they inquired the reason why the rich dad don't want to pay them, he gave them the first lesson that the rich don't work for money, but rather they work for knowledge. That if he keeps paying them, then they will get stuck by the mentality of a paycheck, and they will be caged with fear and greed. The only thing they will be struggling for is the increment of salary. They will never have the mentality on how to create their own wealth. So the first lesson he made them to understand from this book is that the rich don't work for money, rather the rich have their money work for them. Now, that pushes them to think out a way to create their own money. And according to that book, as at then, most of their schoolmates do come to a library near them to study. And that pushes them to open a little library with their valuable book in their neighborhood, engaging one of their sisters in the library to take record of people that came to study. And each person that makes use of the library pays them 10 cents. And when this setup happened, they were making $9 every week without them engaging themselves. You see? Now, the first thing he taught them there is that the rich don't work for money. The rich create avenue to make their money work for them. That is the first person. You want to create wealth quick and fast. You must deploy and look for a better way to engage your money and make the money work for you. And when you do that, you are on your journey for wealth creation. Now, lesson number 2 talks about the importance of financial education. The book emphasizes the need to educate yourself about money, educate yourself about investing, educate yourself about financial literacy so as you can create wealth easily. Many people desire to create wealth, but when it comes to financial research and update, they are out of it. It's not possible and it cannot just happen overnight. You want to create wealth, there is need to educate yourself about money, educate yourself about investing so as you can take hold of your financial future. Lesson number 3 is very important. That is where it talks about the difference between assets and liability. What is assets and what is liability? If you want to create wealth, you need to understand assets and you need to understand liability. In a simple term, an asset is simply something that puts money into your pocket, according to the way this book explains it. And liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Now, the people that are rich today are rich because they have created income-producing assets. And in one book that I read, 24 Assets, written by Daniel Christie, he said one of the assumptions he made there is that income follows assets. So if you want to create wealth and be a high income earner, you must have an asset which income can follow. So now, under getting this understanding that an asset is something that puts money into your pocket and liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, among everything you have, how many of those things are putting money into your pocket, either on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis? And how many of those things that you have are taking money out of your pocket? If you are able to differentiate between assets and liability, you will create wealth, because that is what differentiates the rich from the poor. The rich focuses on acquiring assets which income can follow, while the poor and the middle class focus on expenses and using their money to acquire what they can't afford and what they don't need. So if you want to create wealth, this number 3 is very, very important. You need to check the thing that brings money for you. You need to check the circle of the things you engage. How many is bringing inflow and how many is taking out? And once it shows that what is taking money out from you is more than what is bringing money to you, you can be rich and you will always be broke. But when your assets is high far more than what you are spending, definitely you are going to be rich, because a time will come, all your expenses will be taken care of by what your asset, by the income that is following your assets. That is the way for wealth creation. You need to understand the difference between assets and liability and channel your income towards acquiring assets which income can follow. And if you are able to do this, you are already on your way to wealth creation. Lesson number 4 is the value of taking risk. Now, Kiyosaki encourages readers to take calculated risk and step out of their comfort zone to pursue the opportunity to grow their wealth. You cannot separate wealth creation from taking risk. Now, the richest man on earth today is the person of Elon Musk. He's a risk taker as well, because I listened to one of his statements when he sold his first investment paper about $1.5 billion. He invested it in startup, which he said he don't know if you're going to survive. And that startup is this booming business today, SpaceX and Boring company. Now, you cannot separate taking risk and creating wealth. If you want to create wealth, you must be open to taking calculated risk so you can be able to pursue and achieve your financial goal. Very important. Lesson number 5 is the importance of entrepreneurship. Now, the book Read That Border promotes the idea of starting your own business or investing in income-generating assets as part to promote financial freedom. Now, if you even check in the level of value for wealth creation, the second level of value is unification, whereby you have to start your own business and have people work for you. And that is what is called leverage by delegation. Now, part of creating wealth is to understand a way to use your own skill for wealth creation, instead of just being at the lowest level of value, whereby the resources that will be available to create wealth is just your time and muscle. Now, so this book we read about that promote the idea of you starting your own business, that is working at the second level of value, which is called the unification. A level whereby you use your managerial skill to multiply people available with time for wealth creation. Now, if you can deploy a way to manage people by your skill, that is having your own business, you are going to create wealth. So if you want to create wealth, focus on this number 5 also to understand the importance of entrepreneurship, and you are already on your way for wealth creation. Lesson number 6 talks about the role of mindset in wealth creation. Now, developing a mindset that is focused on abundance, learning from mistakes, learning from failures, and embracing challenges is essential for creating wealth. Even if every other factor is in place, if your mindset skill is not in place in wealth creation, it might not be possible, because your mindset will determine what comes to you, that determines what you are prepared for, that determines what you get ready to get, and that determines what you also attract. So the mindset skill, embracing challenges and learning from failure, is very important in the journey of creating wealth. Lesson number 7 is the power of passive income. Now, creating passive income streams, such as having investment and businesses that does not require your active involvement to create money for you, is very important in wealth creation. So if you want to create wealth, you must understand and deploy a way to have a passive income stream. You don't need to engage your time and muscle before you have an inflow into your pocket. And any money you don't actively engage yourself for is passive income. So if you want to get wealthy, you have to understand and deploy a way to create a passive income stream, and to get wealthy. Lesson number 8 talks about the importance of financial habits. Now, Robert Kiyosaki also emphasizes the importance of developing a good financial habit, such as saving, investing, and living below your means. You cannot take the record of the rich and see them living above their means. Anybody you see living above their means has a poor mentality. They really don't do that. Why will you go and be borrowing money to buy what you know you cannot practically afford? That is not what they will do, and it's not the game of the rich. If you want to create wealth just like the rich, you have to live below your means and focus on investing most of your money so as you can create wealth within a short time. Lesson number 9 is the need to continuously learn and adapt. Kiyosaki stresses the importance for ongoing learning, self-improvement, and adapting to changes to the financial landscape to enable you to stay ahead and succeed. Things are changing. New trends are being created. Are you going with the trend? You need to stay updated and learn how to adapt to the changes so you can actually succeed financially. And lastly, number 10 is the importance of taking action. Every knowledge you have acquired about creating wealth will be of no use if no action is taken on them. And if you are not taking action, you are still in the same place. It's just like the law of inertia, saying every object assumes a state of rest until a relevant force is applied. Now, if you are broke, you are suffering from financial inertia. And to move you out of that state, you need action, which is motion. And the motion you need is to apply force to that object at rest so it can move. And that action, that force you are going to apply, is nothing but the action you are going to take on what you have learned already. Action on investing, action on starting up a new business, action of building up a new mentality about wealth creation. You need to take action on what you have learned if you're going to create wealth. If you don't take action on what you have learned, it's just like a waste, because every object assumes a state of rest until the relevant force is applied. Now, these practical lessons from this amazing book will help any individual who is willing to take action to understand a way to create wealth within a short time and take hold of their financial future. Until our next video, I'll say bye for now.